Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and learn Drive by Incubus. This is definitely an interpretation of mine of the song. It's not dramatically different from the way they play it, but I learned it a number of years ago when it first came out, and as often happens, I end up throwing some extra rhythm and changing the chords maybe a little bit from the way I first learned it, but it's still going to be a pretty basic version of it, and close enough to it to where most of you probably won't notice a difference. So let's actually go ahead and start on it. Oh, and by the way, hopefully you can hear me good. I just recorded this a few seconds ago, and it got too loud and peaked my microphone, so I'm going to go ahead and try to play this a little more quiet, so hopefully you'll be able to hear it on the video. If not, I'm going to, I'll still at least hold the guitar up close enough to the neck, or to the camera to where you can see everything clearly. So let me play it real quick. I'm going to play with my hands so I'm not too loud, but this is basically my version of it, the way I like to play it. It's like this. Another part of the song there, but I probably won't be able to get to that in a 10-minute video. Now let's go ahead and start on the song. We've got this first chord here. Now what it is we've got our first finger. Actually, we're going to be using the open E, so you don't have to worry about that one, but the next note that we have, and we're going to be pressing down, is the 7th fret of the A string. Okay, and remember where we are. These double dots are the 12th fret, 9th fret, and then 7th fret for that dot. So first finger is on the 7th fret of the A string. Okay. Then on the D string, my third finger is going to press down the 9th fret for that note. Okay. Then my pinky is going to press down the 9th fret of the G. Okay, so that note. And then my second finger, or middle finger, is going to press down the 8th fret of the B string, if you can see that. And also we're going to use the skinny E string too, so that can be open. Got to make sure you don't mute that. So going slowly through the chord, you can hear all the notes, and just check and make sure you have the same tones coming out when you strum these strings. So we've got the thick E string, the A, the D, the G, the B, and the E. Okay, open, 7th, 9th, 8th, open. Okay? Now, what we're going to do here is start off with an open on the E string. Okay? That's the thick E string. Now, after we play that open, then we're going to play this note. It's the 7th fret on the A. So go ahead and pluck the A string. You've already got the note pressed down. Okay? Then you're going to strum the rest of the chord, these bottom 4 strings, 3 times. Okay? So it's going to sound like this. Alright? Now, these fingers will come up, but your first finger stays put. Okay? So pick those up, and you're going to rotate around, keeping your first finger on the 7th fret of the A string, and put your middle finger on the 7th fret of the G string, okay, and put your third finger on the 7th fret of the B string. Alright, those are the only 3 notes that we play. Everything else is muted. So our thick E string is muted, our A string is still in the 9th fret, our D string is muted, our G string is in the 7th fret, our B string is in the 7th fret, and our skinny E string is muted. Okay? So the chord we should hear are just those 3 notes. Okay? Now when you're actually playing this chord in the song, you're going to play the A string and then the B and the G together. Okay? And that's actually it. Just play that one, then the chord. So it's going to sound like this. Okay? Now what I like to do is play an open D after that. Okay? Just the open D. And then I land a first finger on the 3rd fret of the A string. Okay? So I have the open D and then 3rd fret right there. This note plays by itself, but it's actually part of a larger chord. This finger can be laid down first, though, if you're having trouble switching to everything else. So open D, 3rd fret on the A, then lay down the rest of your chord. What that's going to be is your, let's just go through all the notes here. E string here is muted. Don't play that one. You got your first finger in the 3rd fret of the A string. You've got, on your D string, you've got the 5th fret with your 3rd finger. Okay? For your G string, you've got the 4th fret with your 2nd finger. That's that note. Then with your pinky, you're going to play the 5th fret of the B string. And we're going to have that skinny E string in there. Open. Okay? So the chord's going to sound like this. Now, what you're going to do when you get to this chord, first off, remember we played this note by itself, so we play that once. And then you play the rest of the chord 3 times again. Okay, it's going to sound like that. Sorry. So going through all that slowly, it's going to sound like this. Okay, then we have 2 open A's. Okay, now you may notice I've got my fingers all over the neck here just for an open A. I don't like having to be real careful with which string I hit when I'm only strumming one string. So instead of being real careful, leaving all these notes open and plucking that one, I just mute everything else and go all the way across every string, and the only one that plays is the A string. The way I do that is my thumb comes around and touches this thick E string, and so it's muted. Okay, I leave the A open, and then these bottom 4 strings are muted with these fingers. I'm just laying them across there but not pressing down, so they're all muted. Okay, so I can just strum across. Okay, now I'm going to go through that chord progression again for you so you can see it again. I'm going to try to strum up here so you can see what strings I'm strumming, if that'll help you or not. I'm not for sure, but we'll give it a shot. So here it is. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, now I said I do change the rhythm a lot with myself, and usually I actually play this with my hands. So when I am playing it, I'm doing it more like this. You get into all that other stuff. I'll do that next part on a different video. But that's the first part that everybody recognizes of that song, so I hope you enjoy